halfway through 2025, and that means we should take our nerd brains and look at the rosters of WW and AEW and decide who right now is kicking the most butt. Now, this is according to me, and I will miss people, I will be mad. Like Rhea Ripley and Io Sky should be on this list, but actually WWE kind of put them in odd positions over the last 6 months. So I kind of felt like, well, they deserve honorable mentions, as does a Cody Rhodes and a John Cena, a bunch of other people. Kevin Owens, for example, but again, the sad guy went and got injured. And Sami Zayn's are probably in here as well. He's not. That's probably a mistake on my end. But number 10 is Becky Lynch. And the reason that Becky Lynch is number 10 is because ever since she came back at WrestleMania, which is how big a fan I am of Becky Lynch, we're basically basing this on what? May, June, 3 months worth of work. I've loved everything she's done. The comeback at WrestleMania to win the tag titles and then lose them and then turn on Lyra Valkyria to become a much more interesting heel than she was before a couple of years ago, which was a heel in the guise of Vince McMahon. Very funny, but done at the wrong time. This version of Becky Lynch, as she leads into the whole Becky Hogan stuff, and I'm going to keep you down, and I'm the best, and I'm going to whoop your ass. She's also helped elevate the Intercontinental Women's Championship, so we should give a shout out to Lyra Valkyria and Bayley as well, who did the same thing, but I just feel like Becky Lynch has been the centerpiece to this. Her promos have been on point. She can make me laugh. She can be serious. The fact that she had a stipulation where you have to raise my hand was awesome. But also, sort of looking behind the curtain, what happened after Lyra Valkyria had to do that? Lyra whooped Becky's ass. So I just think she has done so much for the women's division this year, especially that women's Intercontinental title, which again was just a ghost at one point. And also Lyra has come up too. And it also kind of feels like we're giving Bayley more of an edge, not Adam Copeland. He went to AEW. So I'm not saying this couldn't have happened without Becky Lynch, but she is there. It's like people go, this Batman game wouldn't be good if Batman wasn't in it. He's flubbing in it, and Becky Lynch is in this. And I don't know necessarily she's about to sort of go to a more part-time schedule. It's mad that I'm even suggesting that, but she is getting all these acting roles. So even if she does have this little nugget in the back of her head, which is like, man, this could be the last time I can really give back on a full-time basis, it's absolutely what she's doing. I think she will lose that title at SummerSlam. You've probably seen SummerSlam by the time this goes live, or it would be just beforehand. So she would have done it again, like Britney Spears. Oops. I think she's brilliant. I think she's all-time. I think she's one of the best women's wrestlers that WWE has ever had. And even from April to now, I just think she's proven it again. And I had somebody else in this position was like, I've got to get Becky Lynch in. I've got to get Becky Lynch in. I think she's fantastic. I think she's awesome. And you can argue with me, which I'd enjoy. Do it in the comments below and subscribe. I'm standing by it. And number 9 is Swerve Strickland. Now, Swerve could be anywhere on this list, so I kind of put him at number 9 because he's a chameleon, right? And I realized this the first time I saw Swerve Strickland outside of WWE, when he was actually sort of putting this run together. He could just work with anyone. He's got a cool factor that is just there. And even though he hasn't really been the main character of AEW, what he did do is he served the main storyline, right? Everything that him and Hangman Adam Page did would not have been as good without the friction they had, without the sat-down chats that they had, without referencing the feud they had in 2024. All of it was so damn good. And the whole time Swerve will go out there and just have great match after great match. He does that Swerve stomp that scares the absolute crap out of me. His team with Will Osprey that came out of the Hangman Adam Page conversation, and Swerve and Will Osprey had that amazing match too. AEW is so much better with Swerve Strickland in it. And now he's just cemented as a top guy, right? Doesn't matter if he goes back to WWE, doesn't matter if all of a sudden he goes to New Japan, doesn't matter where he goes, Swerve Strickland will always be at the top of the tree. And he probably cemented this in 2024. But the fact he's carried it on in 2025 and always played this really interesting character. He's way more interesting than just a good guy or a bad guy. Again, the Hangman Adam Page stuff. Back in, what was it, April? Probably a bit earlier than that or later. He wasn't going to help Hangman Adam Page. But obviously Tony Khan told that story in drips and drabs. And Swerve just added so much to it at every single pathway, while also hating the Young Bucks and also destroying their limo and becoming Stone Cold Steve Austin. And the match he had with Will Ospreay against the Bucks at All In was just tremendous. And the smile that got memed during the main event, terrific, man. An absolutely monster of a performer, and we're just getting started, right? Think where he was last year around about this time, doing the same kind of work with Bryan Danielson in order to give him the World Championship. Then essentially he did it again to ensure Hangman got the World Championship. I think Swerve is great. If you want to whack him at number 1, I wouldn't moan. I've probably been a little bit controversial here for the sake of it. That's not what I mean. But he could be anywhere you want in this list. He is great. And WWE should have done more with him. Doesn't matter that they didn't. It's the same with, WCW should have done more with Steve Austin. You don't really know sometimes, and sometimes you have to let people go so they can spread their wings. Swerve Strickland, man, he's having a great year. Number 8 is Seth Rollins, right? You'll be interested to hear who number 7 is, so I think you can actually interchange these. But Seth Rollins had that awesome match at WrestleMania 41, night 1. I love everything he's done with Paul Heyman. Maybe the group with Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker has sort of taken a little bit of a Back burner's unfair. I think WWE knows they're in for the long haul with this. So they're like, well, why rush? Let's take our time with these things. Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank, absolutely the right thing to do. And as always, without Seth Rollins, WWE's main event scene for the last, 6 years, you could argue, would not be held together the way that it is. He is the Iron Man. He is the glue. I think when he does retire, only then will some people go, oh my gosh, Seth Rollins was so damn good. And WWE was lucky to have him. As I talk to you right now, in the midst of this, is it a knee injury? Is it not a knee injury? So he does cash in at SummerSlam. Oh my gosh, that's going to create... That'll probably bump him up a few places as well. I think I've been a bit unfair to Seth here as well, but there were just other people that I think don't get a bigger shout out enough. And actually, you could say that's probably Seth Rollins too, but I've shifted him into 8th position because he has had a great 2025. And making him the centerpiece of Raw and turning him back heel, and again, having Evolution 2 Electric Boogaloo with Paul Heyman and the Bronze, just a really smart decision, and we're only just getting started with it. And he does come back at SummerSlam, he does screw over a Gunther or a CM Punk, things are going to be totally fine. And as we've mentioned him, yes, number 7 is CM Punk, just the anomaly of pro wrestling. I mean, he's been in a tag team with Sami Zayn, he's sort of been in the John Cena sphere of influence, if that's the right thing to done, but that was super duper interesting. Obviously, he's teased matches with everybody because he comes out and cuts promos in their faces, he's been screwed, he's been on top. I just think wrestling is better, or WWE is better at the moment with CM Punk in it, right? I really, really do. And the fact you have this forever feud between him and Seth Rollins, which is probably going to continue on after SummerSlam. Both of them kind of feel intrinsically linked at the moment, which I'm sure if they ever did hear, they both hate it. But that is how I see it. And I suppose as I'm talking to you, the real stuff that he's done is the John Cena stuff, which I really loved. I loved the build. I wouldn't have done the Word Life promo, but it wasn't bad. It was totally fine. I just think Punk has the ability to just talk, and you will be drawn in. But you had all of that stuff, and then you went right into the Gunther stuff too. You had that gauntlet match, and you go all the way back to WrestleMania, and obviously he's in that main event too. All that he's getting his first ever WrestleMania main event. And people are just sad. I don't care about that. My gosh, I've got real problems. It counts as a main event. Somebody put him at the end of the show of a WrestleMania, be it a night 1 or a night 2. And even way back at the Royal Rumble, he was doing these kind of things, when getting into it with Logan Paul, which also would then have ramifications too. Again, CM Punk makes professional wrestling more interesting, whether you like him, whether you hate him. It's a cheesy thing to say, and I regret saying it instantly, but it sometimes does feel like he's born to be a pro wrestler, right? The way he can captivate an audience from either side and hold you in the palm of his hand. I just think he's having a great year. And if he does all of a sudden get into the world title program, which he is doing, like properly, like having a championship or going after Seth's, that's probably all going to change it once again. So I can only imagine the second half is going to be good too. Big fan of CM Punk. Number 6 is Will Osprey. We've kind of talked about a lot of it because it's very similar to Swerve Strickland. You don't get the Hangman Adam Page coronating moment without Will Osprey doing his thing. I mean, Will Osprey is just Will Osprey. Will Osprey should probably be number 1 of all lists, really, because he just exists on his own platform, whatever that means. But I remember when we did the Match of the Year list last year, I just didn't put Will Osprey in it because I was like, yeah, but there's nothing better than a Will Osprey match as long as Will Osprey is doing it. So if you're going to do Match of the Year, it'd be Will Osprey 1, Will Osprey 2, Will Osprey 3. So we just did a separate video about Will Osprey himself, and he's just continued that on. I mean, the match he had with Hangman and Page at, I can't even remember pay-per-views now, but this year, obviously the final of the Owen Hart Cup tournament, so damn good. And the fact it was babyface versus babyface, but it felt like a fight, and it made this AEW World Championship feel like the best thing ever. John Moxley's not on my list either. I think only because there was a big division between him, but I would shout him out too. I think he's been wonderful, and he made that All-In main event what it was too. Like, he was a huge part of it. But Will Ospreay is just a special beast, right? And a lot of people don't like his style, but that's fine. Some people like burgers, some people like pizzas. You can't account for taste. It's always going to be different depending on who you are. But Will Ospreay essentially has come into AEW and just been on fire, which is probably why he's out injured now as I'm talking to you, because he has given so damn much. And he performs at such a high level, doing crazy, crazy stuff. I mean, again, he was in that tag match All In every single match that he has done. I'm not even going to start listing them because I'll miss one, probably one that I preferred over another one, and that will make me feel bad. But he is, I think he's going to be an all-time performer. I think he's a generational performer. Speaking of that, MJF is not on this list, and he probably should be too. I think that's been unfair. I probably should have put him in, but I haven't now, so I will carry on. That's a different conversation for a different day. Maybe he's just kind of sort of taken a step down to other people to shine before he comes up in the second half of the year. That does feel like the plan with Maxwell Jacob Freeman, but it's a shame Will Ospreay is going to be out for however long. We don't actually have a date, but it kind of sounded like more serious than many people expected. But terrific and tremendous. And again, he was all part of this massive wave to get the baby faces on back on top of the company. And it wouldn't have worked as well without him. Number 5 is going to annoy everyone, but I don't care. It's Solo Sikoa. Again, I am talking about performers in 2025 who have done this on the graph. And Solo just keeps going up and up and up and up. And that man is hilarious. A lot of this is based on what he did on SmackDown, where he framed a car crash to try and get Jacob Fatu arrested and then got himself arrested instead. Now, not only was he hilarious when he was cutting his promo, doing his weird jigs, he was hilarious after the fact there's social media content when he asked Cody Rhodes to try and help and just becomes the biggest baby of the planet. It is not exclusive to this episode of SmackDown. He has been doing this for ages, which is why when he did win the US title, which does count when we're looking at kayfabe achievements, I was like, I got to put my man Solo Sikoa in here. It would be better if I had called this list the most entertaining wrestlers that Simon Miller has enjoyed in 2025 so far, but it has less appeal, right? It has less SEO potential. But I look forward to seeing what Solo Sikoa is going to do every week on TV. If I was going to have a warm and fuzzy list, which I do in my head, Solo Sikoa would be number one. I think it's helped Jacob Fatu. I love the fact he won the US Championship. I love the MFTs, the Old Bloodline 2.0. And even though Solo is probably going to lose that championship sooner rather than later, if you keep leaning into this character, his entertaining ways are just going to take him all the way to wherever the hell he needs to go. He's been brilliant. He's been fun. Once again, to use that word, he's been entertaining. I cannot sing Solo Sikoa's praises enough. I look forward to his promos because he's going to do something weird, and that weird face he does. Remember when, who the hell was Jimmy Uso facing? It was probably Jacob Fatu before the turn. And Solo Sikoa got on his face like, man, he can still come back to the family. Nope, okay. Punch him in the face. 10 out of 10 so far in 2025, and long may it continue. Number 4 is Naomi, because Naomi is flubbing brilliant. One of the best heel turns we have done for a while. And I said this, people will go nuts. Yes, I know she was in Team Bad. That doesn't count. Go back and watch the crazy stuff we were doing then. I'm talking about a singular heel turn where the spotlight was on Naomi. Again, it ties into the Elimination Chamber stuff. It ties into her throwing Jade Cargill into a car. But back in 2025, Jade Cargill comes back at the Elimination Chamber. Bianca Belair sells it. Naomi sells it like a cartoon. And from there, she's lost a lot of matches. Lost at WrestleMania, lost at Money in the Bank, or Evolution, I should say. But then, yes, she does win the Money in the Bank, and she does cash it in. And it was awesome. And I love the fact it was during that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky match, which was a 5-star classic. So damn good. I think it adds to the moments that WWE loves. But she's another one. She's like Solo Sikoa. Makes me laugh in promos. Social media game, above and beyond. So damn good. She put dynamite in the Money in the Bank briefcase because she was going to explode Jade Cargill. That is so damn funny. I'm a bit worried she's not going to be a long-term champion, which would kill me. But this is the best work of her career. And again, we go back to the graph. She has just gone up and up and up. I would love to go back and see what she was like in January before we got the big turn at the Elimination Chamber. I imagine it was night and day, but she's tremendous. She's so damn fun, entertaining. Going to keep using that word because that's the whole point. I look forward to see what she's going to do. I look forward to her matches, the triple threat at SummerSlam. I'm so in for, especially I think she is going to win. We have to eke this character out for a year. There are all these rumors she may go away for a while. It's totally up to her. It's her personal life. But I need a good 12 months of this throughout 2025. And at the moment, if she carries this on, she will be one of my wrestlers of the year. Wrestling is all about making you go, man, I'm having such a good time. She's the queen of that right now. And she did win the Money in the Bank, and she has cashed it in. So she is a massive success. And number 3 is Timeless Toni Storm. She was 1 and 2 when I was sat down there trying to put people together. And I think I've done her bad as well. Because, I mean, you could argue she's the main character of AEW. My list, as you're about to see, probably argues against that. But one of the best, as I kind of repeat myself, but one of the best character shifts of all time. A lot of that was in 2024, but it's not like she's got any worse in 2025. And actually, I would argue she cemented herself at the top of the tree. The feud with Mercedes Moné was great. It felt like 2 megastars. The match was awesome. But any time she defends that belt, she even won me around when she was doing all these bizarre, I'm just going to be in 4-ways all the time. I was like, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Especially because we had the Owen Hart Cup tournament going on. So you could argue people in that cup would be like, why am I trying to compete for a shot when you're just giving them out like free cheese? Because Timeless Toni Storm is so entertaining, I just got into them after a while. She's like, I'm a fighting champion. I'm going to beat all these people. All the stuff with Mina Shirakawa, that was awesome. I mean, she's just next level. And that's why she can stand on a balcony and she can have, 2,000 people, whatever it was, just cheering her and looking up to her like she's some kind of princess or whatever you want to say. And this character can go on forever. I mean, just because wrestling is wrestling, she'll probably one day end up in WWE, or there'll be an offer on the table to return. If they don't find a way to take all of this across, they probably shouldn't do it. It's the whole package, it's the presentation, it's Luther, it's her promos, it's the innuendo, which may be tough in WWE. She has totally smashed this, and she should probably be the women's champion all throughout 2025 until Mercedes Moné screws her at some point. But one of the best doing it right now, and a proper, I don't know if it actually sort of equates to people tuning in to see her, but in terms of what you have on your, roster card Absolutely someone that's right at the top there, and someone you could say, oh man, you got to see what this timeless Tony Storm is doing. It's completely different, it's completely unique, but it works as a wrestling character. Like, it's so over the top and dumb, and yet I now totally believe this is who Tony Storm is, which is stupid, because I know that's not true. It's 10 out of 10, it's 5 stars, 6.25 in the Tokyo Dome, and it's never going to get old, because she's too good at the character, and she genuinely has been one of the best things of all of AEW in 2025. And number 2 is Gunther. And the reason I put Gunther here is Gunther never gets up in these lists, and I don't understand it, because the man just does good work after good work after good work after good work. Like, I should probably put Jey Uso in there, given that he won the Royal Rumble, and shout out to Jey Uso, who I love. I would argue that I probably love Jey Uso more than Gunther, but again, Gunther always seems to be overlooked. I was like, not this time. I'm going to talk about that mother flubbing Gunther, because what can't he do? Right? 2-time world champion in terms of he lost it. Well, not 2-time world champion, but I mean, he was the world champion at the start of the year, lost it, then he won it back again. Made Jey Uso, did all of that, had that bizarre side quest with Pat McAfee, which he made work. Then he came back and had the Jey Uso match on Raw that was awesome, and then he went off and did everything with Goldberg. He made that fantastic as well. WWE must be over the moon they have this guy, because he's proper less is more. He feels like nobody else on the roster. His promos are hilarious because it sounds like he's going to kill you, and his work is just so toit, to use those stupid words that I shouldn't say, and now I hate myself a little bit. I don't know what he couldn't do. And I think you could come up with any scenario. Go, Gunther, do you want to do it? He'd go, yep. Can you go out there and talk to this guy? Yep. Can you fit in here? Yep. You want to be a babyface? Yep. You want to be a heel? Yep. I mean, I wouldn't even argue. Some people are going on a babyface run soon. Does he even need to? Just beat Gunther and sometimes take on face and sometimes take on heels. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen at SummerSlam, because, of course, he is going to be taking on CM Punk, which really does put him in a heel position. But Seth Rollins may cash in. But he really is an MVP of this year to see what he's done. Like, he would have been told, you need to make the Jey Uso thing work, and he did. You need to make the Pat McAfee thing work, and you did. You need to make the Goldberg thing work, and you did. I mean, different levels of what we need here, but he just ticked every single box. And he's a bit like timeless Tony Storm, which no one has ever said. But WWE is just better for having him on their books. He is a chameleon, man. He is so flubbing good, and he's only going to get better, right? He's now properly established himself at world level. He'll win the WWE title at some point. We probably will get the John Cena match if John Cena flips back as well, which he probably will do. The rest of 2025 is probably going to be even brighter. And even though he likely will lose the world championship, he will always be at that level. And even if he's not, everybody, even if he was thrown back into it from nowhere, will go, well, of course, he's Gunther. He's made it, man. He always was going to. If you watch back his work as Walter, you could just tell this dude had something special. But now, there's just no argument. Maybe there's an argument towards the end of 2024. The argument is gone. I'm slurring my words. Gunther's at number 2, which of course means number 1 is Hangman Adam Page, the millennial cowboy, the man with emotions who will also burn down your house. A large reason for this is that conversation he had with Swerve on Collision, but every single thing that he's done. The man never has a bad match, right? Ever. He just doesn't. He's a tremendous professional wrestler. Maybe that's not get said about enough. But it's his promos that have really got me recently. Like, you can tell he means everything that he says. He's not afraid to be vulnerable. He's not afraid to be sad. Obviously, this whole point, he's emotional. And even though he's cowboy, he will get all upset. But I really did think that all-in main event was terrific storytelling. And I know people go mad. It's just my opinion. You can tell me I'm an idiot. That's totally fine. And that's why John Moxley deserves a shout out as well, because that finish when he's just fighting for his life is so damn good. And I'm not even a massive fan of Texas death matches. They make me feel a bit oogly-boogly, especially when you get a fork and you jab it into somebody's head. But if we focus on the narrative and the characterization with the story we're trying to tell, I thought it was tremendous. And it was Hangman. It's the promos he cut beforehand, the promos he cut afterwards, winning that Owen Hart Cup again, having great matches with Will Osprey and everybody else he took on along the way. He is the main character. This is what I mean when I said about Tony Storm. Hangman Adam Page is the main character for AEW at the moment, and I think he should be there for a long old while. I think he should hold this title for ages. And MJF should be the guy to take it off him, because again, he's a main character too, but again, different video for a different day. I just think if we ever, I don't think we did, but if we ever did drop the ball a little bit in 2024, which was kind of an argument people were having, that's totally gone now. Hangman is back to where he was. People lost their mind when he came back to his OG theme, when he came out of the face tunnel. Every single thing he does has meaning, and that's what wrestling should be about, especially in AEW, which in terms of the product is way more mature in terms of its goriness. I'm not sure that's the right term, but you know what I mean. But then you have this pure of heart man who will say, it's okay, come on in, I will give you a hug. I just think if AEW has finally got back on its perch, a huge reason was shining a spotlight on Hangman and being like, we're going to get you back to where you need to be. You're an OG character, you're an OG gimmick, you're an OG persona, these people love you, and that's what we're going to do. So yes, I think Hangman Adam Page has been terrific this year. I don't see why that would change in the latter part of 2025, but I have omitted a lot of people from this list. Again, before Kevin Owens got injured, he should probably in there too, so there may be some recency bias. Sami Zayn always doing good work, and there'll be a bunch of other people I haven't even even mention that I probably should do. You could throw a Claudio Castagnoli in there. Claudio Castagnoli never has bad matches, and he is like a tentpole in AEW. But these are people that I wanted to give a shout out to as well, that maybe don't always feature in these kinds of lists, but also you can drop me your 10 below and let me know what you do think. Remember, it's across AEW and WWE, and everybody counts. You can come up with Tozawa. Tozawa is a very funny, interesting man, and I like him a lot. Click the video on the screen, like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Otherwise, it is grillermind.com/Simon. You can sign, get 10% off. Patreon.com/SimonMiller316 for watch-alongs. I'd love to see you over there. SimonMiller316 on social media. Simon Miller on Cameo. Simon J. Miller on TikTok and Pro Wrestling Tees and Big Cartel for merchandise. And now I shall leave you because I'm sure I've missed somebody totally. I didn't do it intentionally. I just sat down there and made the list. And these are the people that just came out from my fingertips, so it must mean something. Have a terrific day. Wrestling is fun, but don't let it get you down. I'll see you soon.